You're gonna fall in love with this Marry Me chicken. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. Remember, cooking at home doesn't have to be difficult. Now, you're going to love today's recipe because it's a skillet recipe, and it's called Marry Me chicken. So good, they say like somebody will marry you for it. Like, hello. This is the perfect recipe to make any time of the year. It's super quick to make, and it's delicious chicken recipe with this yummy sauce that you can serve on potatoes or pasta. It's perfect every single time. Now, you'll find the recipe linked in the description below, or you can always find it by going to eatingonadime.com and then searching Marry Me chicken. And if you love it, we also have a crock pot version as well on the site. Now remember, on eatingonadime.com, not only can you get the full recipe and nutritional information, but you can also rate it, leave a review, and see other people's reviews, so that way you can know what they liked and what they didn't like and what they tweaked. So make sure you go down and scroll and read the reviews. Now, this recipe only takes 22 minutes to cook. It's super fast. You're going to be shocked. And actually, only 12 minutes of that is cooking time. So make sure you grab all of your ingredients and get them all out, because it cooks up really, really quickly. You're just going to need a large skillet, any will do, and then you're going to head to the stove. In a large skillet, we're going to turn on the heat to medium-high heat. We're going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to let that melt and get nice and hot. I like to kind of randomly just move that butter around to get it to melt a little bit faster. If you just let it sit there, it'll take a little bit longer, but as you move it and it gets through, sorry for Rosie Roo being quite loud today, but it'll just help it melt a little bit faster. Once the butter is melted, we're going to add our boneless, skinless chicken breasts to the pan. While that chicken is browning, go ahead and we're going to sprinkle on a half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, and don't worry about it being perfectly on every chicken breast because we're making a sauce, so everything will get coated perfectly. 1 teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm going to check the chicken, and I want it to begin to brown. It hasn't quite started, so we're going to let it cook just a little bit longer until we start seeing some brown spots. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it'll just take a few minutes. I just checked, and we're starting to get a little bit of color on them, so I'm going to go ahead and flip them. I feel like Rosie only barks when I push the camera button, so everybody say hi, Rosie. But look at that beautiful color we're getting. That's important to get some color, because that's what makes the sauce so flavorful. And we're going to cook the other side for 2 to 3 minutes. But if it takes a little bit longer, that's okay, until we get that beautiful color on the chicken. Don't rush this part. Now, while we're letting that brown, we're going to get 1.5 cups of chicken broth. I was actually out of chicken broth, and so I used like a bouillon seasoning and mixed it in with the water. So you can do that as well. You can do just water, but I just think since this is such a creamy sauce that chicken broth just adds a lot of flavor. Then we're going to take 3 tablespoons of flour, and we're going to mix it in with this chicken broth. Now, this is important because this is what's going to help make the sauce creamy and delicious. But you want to mix it in just like this, and you want it to where the clumps are gone, and with the cool water, not with like a hot heated temp. So you don't want to mix it in right when you like dump it in everything into the pot. Make the extra step to just mix it in here real quick. Now my chicken is getting brown, and I wanted to show you what it looks like. I don't want you to panic because you think, oh my gosh, I might have burnt this chicken, but look, it's just the seasonings. So don't panic, but we still want to make sure we have that beautiful crispiness on there. But look how pretty that looks. Now we're going to add that chicken broth and flour mixture to the pan. Now we're going to bring this mixture to a boil simmer. I'm going to turn it down to about medium to medium-low heat. Then we're going to add in our sun-dried tomatoes. This is about 1/3 of a cup. And then we need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. You could do regular milk if you want to. It just won't be as creamy, but it will still be delicious. And then I'm just going to kind of mix this around. And we're going to bring this back to a simmer. Once it's to that simmer, simmer just means like it looks like a boil, but it's not a roiling. It's just like a slow. You'll see bubbles every now and then. I just wanted you to see how you have small bubbles. That's a simmer. So it's not a roaring bubble. It's just a slight simmer. We're going to let this cook for about 4 to 6 minutes until the sauce has thickened and the chicken has reached the internal temperature. I just want to show you this has been cooking for a few minutes and the sauce was looking a little rough in the beginning, but I want to show you that it looks so much better now. So don't be scared. It's going to be delicious, I promise. And I'm about to check it, but I'm just going to let it cook for just a few more minutes. So I just checked and the chicken is almost done, but not quite done. And so I'm going to go ahead and cover it just to keep that heat in there so it'll cook a little faster. Some of my chickens are just really thick, and that way this will make sure it gets that proper temperature. Okay, so I removed the lid. I'm going to turn this off. And then we're just using a meat thermometer to make sure. I'll include a link for this as well. We love this. This is a game changer for cooking, but to make sure we reach at least 165 degrees. And this was the fattest chicken, but I always like to poke each piece into the fattest part. Make sure that this portion, make sure you can see that, goes in the middle of the chicken, because if it goes all the way through, you're not getting an accurate internal temperature. Okay, they're all looking pretty good. So we're ready to eat, guys. Now it's time for my favorite part, eating it. So you can serve this with anything you like. Let me tell you, vegetables are amazing in the sauce. So is pasta, rice, potatoes. The options are unlimited. So today I'm just going to eat it as is. You can do that as well. Then I'm going to take a spoon, get some more sauce because that's my favorite part. And then it's optional, but I highly recommend some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, or you could shred some fresh Parmesan cheese. Wait, I kind of said the same, but I meant like grated Parmesan cheese in the bottle or freshly grated. Okay, guys, let's take a bite. Well, let's see how it is. Remember, guys, you can get the full recipe linked below or by going to eatingonadime.com. I got to make sure I don't get too big of a bite so you guys don't make fun of me. I'm so pumped about this. Yeah. 2 thumbs up. It's so good. It's nice, comforting food, but also I think light enough that you can even enjoy when it's warmer outside, which makes it a complete win for me. And I'll just say that one of my picky kids, not going to mention any names, came over earlier and took a little, he's like, am I going to like this? And I was like, try it, because we've had it before, but he doesn't know. He's like, ooh, it's the good chicken. So if you want your kids to say, ooh, it's the good chicken, make sure you make this recipe. Now, if you love our video today, make sure you like and subscribe. I don't want you to miss any of our future videos because we are posting a ton of recipes to help you eat well at home. And with the ramp up of AI, we are taking it seriously to prove to you that we are recipe testing and making meals that you can actually enjoy at home without spending a lot of money and without spending a lot of time. So you can have dinner done fast if you try this recipe. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next time for another family-friendly recipe. Bye, friends.